JDs and Leatherman Hosses and Hossets, welcome back to at least, I'd say, the 9th best GunTube channel this side of the Mississippi. Guys, Cody Curry here, and thank you for joining me here today. Oh, do we have a fun one here for you guys? Today's episode is going to be a fun one. Guys, a trip down memory lane and time for the ultimate battle royale. But first, kings and queens, it's an honor to be in your presence. Good-hearted and genuine folks like you guys have just humbled me over this past year. Guys, this channel, it has gone from 29,000 subscribers to now over 720,000. By the time this video goes, it's probably closer to 725. 725,000 of unique kings and queens out there. If you would have told me a year ago, I would be in the presence of thousands of awesome, like-minded individuals every single Sunday here, I would have said balagna. That's French for baloney. If someone would have sent me a text and said, yo, folks in the community are going to love watching you neglect your 401k while you destroy a nice Armament SR-15, build a World War I issued 1911 into a back-to-back-to-back World War III winning champion machine chambered in the Lord's caliber of 45 AARP, oh, and make the first M1 Garand chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor that has a cannon, okay, well, yeah, I would probably watch that actually, so it sounds pretty neat. But here's the thing, no way would I believe you guys from this community actually enjoy the same things that I do and support me in the ways you guys have along the whole way. Except these guys. I hope you step on a Lego, and when you pour your next bowl of cereal, I hope the spoon falls in and gets covered all in milk and you gotta dig your nasty mitts in your fresh bowl of cereal to find it, you lint liquor. Yeah, did that work out the way you thought it would? Didn't think so. Your homies never kissed you goodnight and it shows. Now, battle royale of my favorite guns of all time. We have compiled 5 of the greatest guns I have ever covered. Out of the 100 some odd guns I've done, we have narrowed it down to 5. Just 5 of the greatest guns you have ever had the displeasure of watching me caress. They're all going head to head, and only one is going to come out on top and victorious and claim the title of best SAS gun of all time. JDs and Leatherman, are you ready for the show? Let's begin.
Oh, hey, King. I want to tell you about a new friend here of the channel. It's Badlands Munitions Company. Training ammo, pistol ammo. There's even match ammo. What's dope is, guys, they're based here in the United States, right out of Arizona. Everything, it's all made in-house. They've actually given us a discount code, 10% off for all the homies. No matter what you pick up, if it's ammunition, you're getting 10% off. Code 110SAS, check them out.
Hawkins, get that 30 cal up. Sass here, sir. Sass, where's the BAR? Left in my mother's basement. Bitch tried to drown me. Find a replacement. Huh. It's going a little rapid on me. Where's the BAR? Left in the channel, sir. Bitch tried to drown me.
All the stopping power, Hoss. All the tactical gizmos, Sonny. The gun our second Lord, Saint and Savior John Moses Browning has blessed with us, but redone The Ohio Ordnance Works H-car, chambered in the 30-06 Hoss, just like the original, except with a modern twist, guys. This gun, it's a riot. It's so much fun. Like, here's this solid hunk of milled steel. And when I say solid hunk, I'm serious. I mean it. There's no aluminum on this thing. There's just solid steel. And it's chopped to 16 inches and chambered in a round that's won 2 world wars. You know, people talk about 45 being back world champ, but what happened to the 30-06? What about my 06, Hoss? That cartridge has taught the Nazis a lesson in humanity in the 1940s and the Central Powers in the 1910s. And here it is in 2024, over a century later, still doing work. There's something to be said about that. It's pretty neat. I'm telling you, paper targets, they have never been so scared seeing me pull up on them with 15 pounds of pure American muscle, baby. She's heavy, she's expensive to feed, and she's got a reputation for ridding the world of evil. Number 5, gentlemen, of the greatest guns of all time, the Browning BAR H-car. Now, bringing it back into the 21st century of modern firearms and designs, a large frame gasser chambered in the bane of every FUD's very existence. Check it out.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Well, let's talk about it.
Lord have mercy if you aren't fully torqued after that mortgage payment of Knight's Armament M110 K7 chambered in 6.5 Creed bore, mag dumping in a trash well. Call your doctor, ask for Viagra, because your little guy, it just might be broken, gentlemen. Here's the thing, like, a stupid soft shooting, super light, super nimble, just very capable, well-rounded platform. That weapon, it should be pitch intense. And here's the thing, I genuinely think it might be the best battle rifle ever devised. If you really think about it, 6.5 Creed out of a 14.5-inch barrel is almost ballistically identical to an 18-inch 308, and it actually outperforms it in bucking wind and bullet drop. Not to mention, beyond 800 yards, it outperforms that same 308. The ammo, it's not only lighter, but it also is way softer shooting. Recoil, it's so soft. It's actually kind of crazy to feel the difference between 308 and 6.5 Creed and the Knight's Armament SR25. You put a brake on this thing, it's like shooting like a heavy, very aggressive 5.56 rifle. It's a .6 MOA gun, it's dead nuts reliable, and it doesn't feel like a musket. Like, what's not to love here? The Knight's Armament 14.5-inch SR25 M110 K7 is just one of the most practical guns I think I've ever owned. And it's honestly one of the very best, just general purpose, dual role, do it all kind of battle rifles of all time. So let's move on. Now, speaking of battle rifles, this next one, It was just an absolute blast to do, from the shooting, the hours and hours of research, and just helping tell an epic story of just a real American hero and the rifle that he carried. Next one, I mean, it's kind of a little bit of a tearjerker, and you may already know what I'm talking about here, so watch this one, enjoy.
Hey, you with me? Gordy's gone, man. I'll be outside, and good luck.
Just what an epic guy and just an epic gun. Doing that video was very important to me. Like, realistically, here's the thing. I'm a nobody in whatever business you want to call this thing, you know, acting like a clown on the camera for the homies once a week. But man, it felt really good to do something that was not only entertaining, but also really informative. Guys, I read a lot of books, listened to a ton of interviews of dudes that were actually there on the ground that day, October 3rd. And not only did I learn a ton myself, but also was able to help some people understand that that was supposed to be 30 minutes and turned into 18 hours of pure hell. Gary Gordon and Randy Shugart are they're absolute legends. And the more I read about them, the more I couldn't stop. I think we can all learn something from those two dudes. Now, as far as the M14 goes, guys, it's not that bad of a weapon. Are there better semi-automatic 7.62 weapons out there today? Yeah, there are. Were there better 7.62 battle rifles out when it was adopted in the service in the 50s? Yeah, the FAL comes to mind. But it wasn't just a hunk of junk like the interwebs makes it out to be. Yeah, I mean, it has its quirks. You know, it has its own little issues, if you will. You know, the biggest thing would be probably accuracy issues with that wandering point of aim. Yeah, it takes being quite knowledgeable and some solid gunsmithing on the platform to iron out these bugs, but once you do, guys, you really have a very solid rifle. It's a blast of a gun to run, and there's no denying it's not absolutely just an iconic, beautiful American rifle. Now, moving on to number 2. Whew, we're getting close. JD's and Lettleman, hailed as the greatest battle implement of all time. But now, even more gooder, baby. At number 2, please enjoy. Smoke. man, talk about an epic build. First things first, the most iconic weapon, I'd say, of all American history, period. Followed by the AR-15 and then the 1911. The M1 Garand is it's just a thing of beauty. It's a timeless art masterpiece through and through. But what you've seen there, that, my friend, is a modern art masterpiece. This all started when I went to the CMP to pick up a new M1 Garand. Man, the selection, it was pretty disappointing. Everything was either just rotted out, junk wood, roached barrels, and probably couldn't hold a minute of an IPSC target at 100 yards. But this one really stood out because really, the only good things it had going for it was the receiver wasn't rotted out and the wood. It was in really good condition and it matched. Now, knowing that I needed a new barrel, I thought to myself, what can I do to make this thing epic? What could I do to improve upon this old wood warhorse? So I called up Criterion. I asked them, I said, hey, you guys make 6.5 Creedmoor barrels? They were like, no, we don't make 6.5 Creedmoor M1 Garand barrels. Never have, and you'll have to order like 200 of them if you do want one. Well, I definitely didn't need 200 M1 Garand barrels, so we ended the call. What's interesting though is about 5 minutes later, the same people, they give me a call back. They said, we don't have 6.5 Creedmoor barrels, but hear me out. We do have just two 6.5 barrel blanks from a small kind of experimental run of 6.5 by 55 Swede we did a long time ago. Sounds pretty good to me. So bingo, bango, bongo, put it in the pack-a-punch, and out came this bad Larry. The guys at Fulton Armory, they put this whole thing together, and they absolutely just knocked it out of the park. It's gassed so well, even with a can on it. It shoots just over 1 MOA with match ammo, and of course, you get the bing! Absolute just riot of a gun. All the charm of the greatest battle implement ever devised, now softer shooting and cheaper to shoot, and just, it's an absolute blast. So, moving forward, guys, the moment you've all been waiting, 2 years in the making, and only a few moments away from knowing. But first, we can't continue without some honorable mentions in the Battle Royale. So, 2 honorable mentions before we get to number 1. Enjoy.
Climb up a ladder with a hammer and a nail on it. Well, we worked so hard to build a little house together. In the snow and the rain or the ice cold wind, whenever.
And as you can see,
No matter any weather, we're together.
keep it cool.
So these were almost like a tie for number one, but we're just going to put them as honorable mentions, okay? So, of course, we had to include the Knight's Armament M110 SAS. I mean, it's my namesake. One of the most, if not the most iconic modern rifles ever made. Now, it only costs a Ford F-150, but that's okay. And how could we forget the gun that got the attention of a gentleman with the last name Knight? It's kind of funny because I had zero intention of whatever, getting in front of somebody important and just like an absolute legendary player in the game of gun manufacturing. I did it really because here's the thing. These guns are crazy expensive, maybe too expensive, honestly. These SR-15s, they're pricey, but there's a reason why they cost what they do. It's not because some dude wants to get rich. Nah, Knight's Armament has been in the business since the 1980s. They're literally OGs of the AR-15 game. And there's a reason they're still around today. They make guns that simply put, just come hell or high water, they're gonna run. Or in this case, being dragged a mile down the road by a car. Shot at with a shotgun 5 times, ran over multiple times, uses a sledgehammer, and a great place to store your SpaghettiOs. Oh, and by the way, after all that, it still runs, and not only runs, but prints sub-MOA groups after all of that. Yeah, maybe I should be on the payroll of that company, actually, now that I think about it. I've probably sold them a few rifles. If you are watching this, it's time to renegotiate our contract, I think. I know we don't have a contract, but I think I deserve like some stickers or something, I don't know. Thanks, appreciate it. Now, the greatest gun of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, the gun that broke the internet and inadvertently caused a massive spike in blood pressure medication prescription across the globe. JD's and Letterman, boomers fear him, museums hate him. The legendary World War I issue Colt 1911. Now, gentlemen, if there was ever such a thing as a modern Picasso, this is it. Am I bragging? Yeah, I'm bragging a little on myself, but hey, it's the most beautiful, iconic handgun ever created and now modernized. All modern handguns can only hope to be the John Moses Browning 1911. To be as half as good as the original John Moses Browning 1911 is, that's an impressive feat. To be half as good. I'm not kidding when I say it's the best gun in the world, period. Like, it has it all. It has the looks. Guys, authentic 110 years of patina on that frame and slide. The oil-soaked wood grips from hands just over the years and years. It's just the pinnacle of absolute beauty. It has the function now as well. It's milled for an RMR. It's drilled and ported for less recoil and added a light rail to it. It has everything your modern combat handgun has today, and it has the heritage all on top of that. It's an issued World War I 1911. Who knows the stories this thing could tell? And to top it all off, it literally made so many people mad. I always joke that our generation is never going to see a cent of our Social Security that we contribute. It's going to be all dried up by the time we're of age to collect it. But this build right here, gentlemen, it gave us a fighting chance at getting our Social Security, as the drastic rise of heart attacks over the age of 50 to 60 quintupled after this video release. Shoot, even some dirty little soy tuber made an entire video about it. How I'm such like a bad person. So why do you do it, baby Billy? Well, because I'm selfish. I don't know about all that. Anyway, it's just such a great gun. It's one of the greatest guns on earth, in my opinion. And someone has to fight for us small folk to ensure we have a retirement plan beyond perpetual debt. I should probably run for president. That seemed like a good little speech right there. So, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest gun of all time. It's been an honor to be in your presence here. Guys, do me a favor, share this video, subscribe, and hit that all notifications button. Because of folks like you, I will not stop trying to make GunTube great again, and at the sake of my own fiscal responsibility and security. So I will risk it all every single time for you guys to enjoy. So until next time, kings and queens, hosses and hossettes, say it with me, run your gun and not your mouth, and we will catch you next time.